Hello and welcome to Electro Nerds Academy. In this video, we'll be controlling the speed of a DC motor using a potentiometer and the DRV8833 motor driver module. At the heart of this module is the DRV8833 IC from Texas Instruments, which features two NMOS H-bridge drivers capable of controlling two DC brushed motors. It operates within a voltage range of 2.7 volts to 10.8 volts and provides a continuous current of up to 1.2 amps per channel, with a peak current of 2 amps per channel for short bursts. What makes the DRV8833 stand out from other motor drivers is its robust protection features, such as undervoltage lockout, overcurrent protection, and overtemperature protection. If any of these conditions occur, the H-bridge MOSFETs are disabled. Once the issue is resolved, the device automatically resumes operation. Additionally, it includes a low-power sleep mode, which is useful for saving power when the motors are not in use. This driver has 12 pins that interface with the outside world. Unlike many motor drivers, the DRV8833 only has one power supply connection, without a separate logic power supply. The VCC and GND pins are where you connect the external motor power supply. The output pins, out 1, out 2, out 3, and out 4, are for motor connections. Motor A is connected to out 1 and out 2, while motor B is connected to out 3 and out 4. Each motor has two control inputs, IN1 and IN2 for motor A, and IN3 and IN4 for motor B. The sleep pin, labeled EEP on the board silkscreen, controls the DRV8833's sleep mode. When set to low, the module enters a low-power sleep mode, disabling the H-bridges and resetting all internal logic. When set to high, the driver becomes active again, though it takes up to 1 millisecond to fully wake up. On the backside of the module, there's a solder jumper J1. By default, J1 is closed, keeping the DRV8833 always enabled through an onboard pull-up to the sleep pin. If J1 is opened, the onboard pull-up is disconnected and the DRV8833 remains disabled by default, requiring manual activation. The fault pin, labeled ULT on the board, goes low if an overcurrent, overtemperature, or undervoltage condition occurs. Under normal conditions, this pin floats, so a pull-up resistor is needed if you plan to use it. Now let's take a look at how this module works. The control inputs, IN1, IN2, IN3, and IN4, handle both the speed and direction of the motors. When both inputs for a motor are set either low or high, the motor will remain stationary. To rotate the motor, you need to set one input high and the other low. Reversing the signals on the two inputs will cause the motor to change its direction. In both cases, the motor spins at full speed because it's receiving the full 5-volt signal. To adjust the motor speed, we'll use a PWM signal. By sending a PWM signal to one of the input pins, IN1 for the first motor, IN3 for the second motor, while keeping the other input low, we control the speed. For instance, to reduce the motor speed to 50%, we send a 50% duty cycle PWM signal to IN1 and IN3, while keeping IN2 and IN4 low. If we want to reverse the motor direction while maintaining the same speed, we send the PWM signal to IN2 and IN4 and set IN1 and IN3 to low. This will spin the motor in the opposite direction at the same reduced speed. Now that we know everything about the module, let's connect the module to our Arduino. First, connect the motor power supply. Since we're using 5-volt motors, connect a 5-volt external power source to the VCC pin. Next, wire the DRV8833's control inputs, IN1, IN2, IN3, and IN4, to digital output pins 10, 9, 6, and 5 on the Arduino. These pins support PWM, which we'll use to control motor speed. Connect motor A to out 1 and out 2, and motor B to out 3 and out 4. Motor connections can be swapped without issue. There's no specific right or wrong configuration. We won't use the fault and sleep pins, so you can leave them unconnected. Ensure the Arduino and the DRV8833 share a common ground. We'll use a 10K potentiometer for speed adjustment and a push button to change direction. So we connect the potentiometer's wiper terminal to the Arduino's A0 pin, with its two ends connected to 5 volts and GND. For the button, we connect one end to pin 2 of the Arduino, with the other end grounded. Now let's move on to programming the Arduino. We begin by declaring 4 integer variables, IN1, IN2, IN3, and IN4, which represent the motor driver's control pins. These will be assigned values 10, 9, 6, and 5, corresponding to the Arduino pins to which they are connected. Next, we'll declare an integer variable pot pin for the potentiometer's wiper pin and another button pin for the push button pin. Additionally, we'll declare 3 more integer variables: pot value to store the potentiometer reading, speed to store the PWM value for motor speed, and button state to track the button's state. Finally, we'll declare a string variable direction, initialized to forward, meaning the motors will start spinning in the forward direction. In the setup function, we begin by initializing serial communication at 9600 baud using serial.begin. We then configure the motor control pins IN1, IN2, IN3, and IN4 as outputs using pin mode. The potentiometer pin, pot pin, is set as an input, and the button pin is set as an input with the internal pull-up resistor activated to ensure stable button readings. In the loop function, we first read the button state and store it in button state using digital read. Next, we read the potentiometer's position using analog read and store this value in pot value. The analog reading, which ranges from 0 to 1 in 23, is mapped to a PWM value between 0 and 255 using the map function, and this value is stored in the speed variable to control the motor speed. Now let's first implement the button logic. That is, whenever the button is pressed, we will change the motor spinning direction. So if the button is pressed and the direction variable is set to forward, we will first stop the motors by setting all control pins, IN1, IN2, IN3, and IN4 to low. We then use a while loop to wait for the button to be released, which will continuously loop until the button is no longer pressed. After a brief 500 millisecond delay, we set the direction variable to reverse. If the direction variable is set to reverse and the button is pressed again, we will change the direction back to forward. We follow the same process. First, stop the motors, wait for the button to be released using a while loop, and after the 500 millisecond delay, change the direction to forward. These two if statements are only responsible for stopping the motors and changing the direction variable. They don't actually spin the motors. That functionality is handled by the next two if statements, which spin the motors based on the value of the direction variable. The first if statement checks if the direction variable is set to forward. If it is, we print forward to the serial monitor and use analog write to send a PWM signal to IN1 while setting IN2 to low. For the second motor, we send the same PWM signal to IN3 and set IN4 to low, making both motors spin forward at the speed set by the potentiometer. The second if statement checks if the direction variable is set to reverse. If it is, we print reverse to the serial monitor. To reverse the motors, we set IN1 to low and send the PWM signal to IN2. For the second motor, we set IN3 to low and send the PWM signal to IN4, making both motors spin in reverse at the speed set by the potentiometer. Once this code is uploaded to the Arduino, the motors will start spinning forward, with the speed controlled by the potentiometer. When you press the button, the motors will stop and, after a short pause, start spinning in reverse. You can control the motor speed in reverse using the potentiometer. Pressing the button again will stop the motors, and after another pause, they will rotate in the forward direction again. That's all for this tutorial. Thank you for watching. We hope you found it helpful. Stay tuned for more upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.